Friday. All right, here we go. Remember, you are not trying to get 100% necessarily. You're just trying to beat yesterday's score. I try to stick to the same types of problems as yesterday. With the exception, I brought in an algebra order of operation, and over here kind of focused more on the work that we were doing yesterday that kind of confused some people. So let's see how you did. So the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to multiply our mixed numbers. Now, when you multiply mixed numbers, as you guys know by now, right, the formula for multiplying mixed numbers is only numerators and denominators. And all you do is you multiply them. There's no room for whole numbers. So the way that you get rid of the whole numbers is you turn them into whatever your denominator is. So remember, 1 whole is 3/3. You have 3 wholes, so you have 9/3. And how did I get that? By multiplying. And then I'm going to add these two together. So 3 and 1/3 is equal to 10/3. And then what's 2 1/2 equal to? Well, each whole is equal to 2 halves, right? And I have 2 wholes, so I have 2 halves, 2 halves. How did I get that? I multiplied. 2 times 2 is 4. I got 4 halves plus 1 is 5 halves. Now I can multiply across. Some of you guys are like, no, Mr. Stahl, a top and a bottom one have something in common. They're both even, so you could cut them down first. If you know how to reduce first, that's awesome. Do that. 10 times 5 is 50. 3 times 2 is 6. This is an improper fraction. I got to pull out the wholes, but before I do that, I could simplify. Half of 50 is 25. Half of 6 is 3. This is a little bit of an easier problem. How many 3s are in 25? Well, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. I have 8 of them. 24/3 makes 8. I only use 24, so I still have a 1/3 left. That answer is 8 and 1/3. Now let's go to this problem. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. This helps me make my layers of what I'm allowed to do in what order. Parentheses, there aren't any. Exponents, there are not any. So now I have multiplication or division. I have a division problem here. I have a multiplication problem here. And I have a multiplication problem here. What do I do first? This one. Why? Because it comes up first in the problem. So what is 100 divided by 5? 100 divided by 5. How many 5s go into 10? 2. What's left over? Nothing. Bring down the 0. 5 doesn't go into 0. Therefore, my answer is 20. So now I have a new problem. 100 divided by 5 is 20. So I have 20. And then I'm going to multiply 4. And then I am going to subtract 20 times 4. So all I did there was I rewrote this with this being 20 because that's what 100 divided by 5 is. Now I have a new problem. I'm going to go from left to right. I have multiplication here, and then I have multiplication here. 20 times 4 is 80. And then I'm going to subtract 20 times 4. Well, now I have to multiply first. So I have 80 minus 80, and 80 minus 80 is 0. Moving over here, we're going to round to the nearest hundredths place. The first thing I need to figure out is where is the hundredths place. If I put a dot right there, I see there's 2 zeros. Therefore, this is the hundredths place. So that means I cut off the thousandths place. But if the thousandths place, the first number I'm cutting off is a 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, it has the power to boost this up. Does the 6 have that power? Yes, sirree, Babarooski, it does. So the way that I've always taught this one is right now, kind of pretend like it's money. 0.99 is like 99 cents. If I round 99 cents up, I get one more penny. I now have $1. So therefore, 99 plus 1 is 100. So that would actually turn this 3. If you kind of look at it like right now, it's $3.99. You give it one more, it's going to turn into 4.00. So therefore, your answer is 4,504. And then you could add your zeros. You don't have to add your zeros. It's just 4,504. All right, let's go down here. It says, which expression represents multiplying the difference? Ooh, you got to remember what the word difference means. Difference means subtraction. Answer to subtraction. Multiplying the difference of 12 and 3 by 4. Well, naturally, in orders of operation, you would subtract last. So we have to add parentheses to make somebody subtract first. And I know that this caused some confusion yesterday, so let me just show you what I'm talking about. Right now, if I just write multiply the difference of 12 and 3, I go 12 minus 3, that is the difference of 12 and 3, and multiply that by 4. If I just write it down like that, then the person is going to be forced to go like this, because you always multiply before you subtract, and then their answer would be 0, which is not the right answer. So what we have to do is kind of change the problem a little bit to make sure that somebody knows that they are going to first find the difference. So instead, if you want them to first find the difference, you have to put parentheses on it, and then you're going to multiply that difference by 4. And that looks like this one right here. So you have to make sure that you add the parentheses. And yesterday we were doing the opposite. Yesterday we were taking this and trying to turn it into word form. And that's what was really confusing people. I was hoping that this time, if you see the word form and have to pick the correct one, maybe it's going to open your eyes and your brain, and you're going to say, this is all, I kind of get it now. And then last, we have this irregular volume made out of cubes. So the cubes here, this one is a little different than the way that we've been looking at it, but it's the same concept or the same idea. So we'll kind of look at this like it's 3 separate figures. 1, 2, 3. Now, you could argue that there's a third block here, and there really might be, but it doesn't look like it. It looks like there's only 2 blocks here. So I'm just going to put my 2 there. 2 cubes. Now this one has a base of 3 by 2. And you could count that the area of the top is 6, because there's 6 squares. And then 6 goes up and down twice, right? So 6, there's 2 layers of 6. 6 on top, 6 on the bottom. So there's 12 total. So this one has a volume of 12 total. So we have block number 1 that has 12, structure number 2 that has 2, and now this last one has a base of 2 by 2, which is 4. And then 4 is a height of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It has a level of 5. 4 by 5 is 20. So we have volume of 12 plus 2 plus 20. What is that answer? You got to add them all up. 20 plus 2 is 22. 22 plus 12 is 34. And that's it. That's it for your challenge questions. I really hope this video helps you understand any of the ones that you did get wrong. Now for math today, what I'd like for you to do is I'd like for you to pause your computer. I'd like for you to pause your computer and come up with these answers. Pause your computer and come up with these answers, and then let me look at you in your eyeballs while I'm saying this. So pause the computer, come up with the answers, and then during our live session, we will talk about the correct answers. All righty? All right, I'll see you guys at 10:30. Toodles.